How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another Counterside video. I am a little bit late on this. This was posted like 12 and a half hours ago, maybe 13-ish hours ago, but I'm just now seeing it. So we've got dev notes for April. I guess this is our 9th dev notes according to this on global, so haven't really been keeping track, but yay dev notes. So that's what they're talking about today. So this is dev note will be about updates on April 26th, along with what is coming in May 2023. Okay. Arcade mode on April 26th. On the April 26th update, a new Gauntlet event mode, which we have mentioned in the previous notes. I don't remember them mentioning anything like that in the previous notes, but okay. Will be released with the name Arcade mode on the KR server first. Okay, well then why are you telling us about it in the global dev notes? Or they're just translating the notes for everybody, I guess. Okay. The arcade mode is a mode in which we plan to feature different Gauntlet concepts that everyone can enjoy without pressure. I don't really know what that means. Like, what do you mean by concepts that they can enjoy without pressure? Like, you have to use certain teams? Question mark? I don't know. The arcade mode will be open every day from 11 to 23:59. So that is every day from 11 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. But it doesn't say what time zone. I'm assuming that's the time zone that the maintenance and stuff is set in, so I'm not sure. They don't really say what time zone, but hopefully they will tell us when they actually launch it. But it'll be available to everyone without any requirements. Regardless of the result, CEOs will be able to receive a small reward for playing the mode. Depending on the number and the frequency of using this mode, you may change the opening time for arcade mode. So the fact that it is only open for a limited time is kind of lame. Like, that's just, why would you limit it? But at the same time, it is 12-hour period, so it's pretty all-encompassing, so everybody that wants to play it should be able to. But it's just like, if you are just unlucky, it's actually more like a 12-hour period. Or no, I said 12, I mean 13-hour period. But if you were just so unlucky to, only play in those 11 hours, it's, not open. You don't even get to experience it. So that's, I don't like things that are only opened on limited times in the day like that. It's like if you don't have time to play during that time period for whatever reason, then that's just, your SOL. So that I'm not a huge fan of, but they said they are open to changing it maybe, so hopefully they will. So new task force plan, squad growth plan. Task force plan, just for clarification, is the missions that you do that, like, when you first start the game to kind of help you guide what to do and where to go. So ship developments, raid equipment crafting, and other in-game systems are needed elements while playing the game. But there was no guide from the task force plan about it to aid our CEOs, hence newer CEOs had a hard time adjusting to the game. As such, we have integrated elements that we needed to grow the units and such into the task force plan, which we hope will aid all our CEOs. So that's a pretty good change for new players. I know it doesn't really go over that a whole lot, especially the raid side of things. So that is a good thing to touch on. It does give a little bit more direction. I know a lot of new players that I've interacted with, got that information by asking, older players, veteran players. So that's a good change. Anything to make, help guide a new player and make the process a little easier for them is nice. Because I know right now it is there's a lot when you start this game now. Oh goody. I remember them talking about status effects before. What are they talking about now? The status effect display. On the status effects that were explained previously through the developer's notes, we decided to add like diamond mark to the description for status effects that are not buff, debuff, that are not a buff or debuff to differentiate them. However, since there was no detailed explanation on how the existing buff-debuff system work, I would like to take the time to introduce how confusion and nullification work as examples. Nullification is a term that unifies what was previously expressed as immune, remove, cancel, etc. Okay, right? They just changed all the terms to one. Makes sense. To nullify buffs, debuffs that are not permanent effects. I do remember them doing this. It makes sense. Simplifying the terminology, understandable. Status effects with the diamond mark are not applied through buffs and debuffs, so they are not affected by nullification. Okay. Confusion does not have a diamond mark, so units in the nullification state are not affected by confusion. However, units that are already in a confusion state will not be dispelled through the nullification state. This is because the ally affected by confusion is temporarily judged as an enemy and cannot receive the ally's debuff nullification effect. However, the unit is in the confusion state, receives the confusion effect once more, the confusion state inflicted by the enemy will be cancelled. What? Okay. Moreover, since the application of buffs and debuffs has a complex structure, we plan to continuously update the management guide for more detailed information so that all CEOs can check it in-game. I didn't even know that guide existed in-game, so that's cool. I'll have to look for that. Furthermore, starting from April 26th, the automatic organization rules, which previously placed units in order of combat power, will be changed to place them in consideration of the unit class and the deployment cost. In addition, changes in deployment costs will be shown when checking the ship information or rearming, and we plan to add a special icon to prevent confusion on the equipment set for the Initiative and Replica equipment series. Special icon on the set. Okay. Oh. What's the Initiative series? Is that the antagonist stuff? No, it's the antagonist. It was antagonist, right? The Initiative, the stuff you get like really early on in the task force plans, like the T3 stuff. Maybe that's what it is. What's more, the skill cooldown reduction option of Eugene's exclusive gear, Hound Fangs, which was questioned about its effectiveness after rearmament, will be changed to an attack speed option. Okay, it says Eugene. I don't know of a character named Eugene. I think that's supposed to be somebody else's. The only person I can think of is Eugene's. So that might be who that is supposed to be. I feel like that's a typo. So they're changing somebody's, EE stat, so that's a cool little balance change. Maybe they'll be open to doing that to some other characters that might need that. Though can't think of anybody off the top of my head, to be honest. For a more immersive play, the overall balancing of in-game sound will be carried out, so there is no situation requiring a specific region is too loud, or the dialogue is difficult to understand. On May 2023, the expansion of existing contents and gameplay is in progress. So, it started off talking about the status effects here, and then it just kind of went into some other changes they were going to do. So honestly, the description and wording of this status effect display stuff, very confusing. I feel like their explanation didn't really explain anything. The only thing that made it really clear is that they added the diamond mark for status effects that aren't buffs and debuffs. But what status effects aren't a buff and debuff? I don't get it. Either things on you are a buff or a debuff, right? How are you not one of those? This might just be my general RPG knowledge conflicting with what they're saying, and it's making it more confusing. Because even here it says for the confusion thing, it's confusion will not be affected by nullification if it's already on them. However, it cannot be applied to them if they have nullification up. So I'm so it's a debuff, right? I'm not the only one confused here, I hope. But then maybe, you know, all the years of playing RPGs has addled my brain, and this terminology that they're using is just beyond me. But yeah, okay, cool. Tyrant Gigas and additional co-op battle functions. The new co-op battle boss, Tyrant Gigas, will be featured. Gigas will have a high defense, which will make him tougher than the Demolition Worm. Great, because the Demolition Worm is totally easy. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that has a problem with that fight. The addition of Tyrant Gigas changes will also arrive in the arena. Of the existing arenas, 4 of them will be replaced. We hope this change in the arena will bring a new strategy to our CEOs. To aid our CEOs, and a consortium members will now appear. The co-op battle UI and a practice mode will be added for the co-op boss. I'm choosing any artifact in the practice arena. Okay, cool. So yeah, the practice mode we know about. That's cool. Definitely needed for co-op. Like 100% needed for co-op. Changing a couple of the arenas I don't think they had mentioned before. That is a cool thing because, you know, the arenas as are pretty bog standard. So adding a couple newer ones in there to spice things up, not bad. Oh, dive coordinate expansion. Love to see it. Okay, this is like, I saw this. Somebody posted this in my consortium chat, so I guess this is what that was from. This is okay. So, just like the title, additional dives will be added. Well, crap, who would have guessed? Since these were designed for those who could reach coordinate 50 with ease, people have been playing for a long time. So the KR region, because I don't think there are too many people in global. Okay, maybe there are. Maybe there are. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that because I'm probably wrong. So there's people out there that can get there with these. They will be extremely difficult to challenge the squad to the limit. I mean, the last 5 dives have been considered in-game difficult content, so adding more, it only makes sense that they continue to be in-game difficult content. Also, the Esper corrupted objects on the coordinates around the 30s will have their difficulty lowered. That was a little bit of a wall for people at first because of just some gimmicks in the fights that were kind of jarring, I guess. So cool. This just means I need to do my dives because I have been slacking on those heavily since they reset them after the new Origin update. Like I'm way low in there. As for gameplay improvements, now they're just moving on from dives into some other stuff. We are converting enhancement modules into supply. What does it mean by supply? Oh, is it like moving them into the inventory instead of, you know, the gear section? That would be a nice change, honestly. And improving the UX of the equipment system, including equipment y'all, I can't talk. Including equipment recommendations for each unit. That's cool. I see that in a lot of other games. It's really nice. Generally, the equipment recommendations in game match up what, you know, your resource sites and fan sites and all that will say, because that's what everybody's been going off of anyways. So it just takes that information that the fan base has already compiled and puts it in game. So that's pretty cool. Through this, we want to make it easy to manage various types of equipment and to check which equipment suits each unit better. Like I said, really nice change. Quality of life. Change. Next, we're going to alleviate a rapid increase in difficulty on mainstream episodes 7 and 8, so that the progress continues smoothly. Right, so that way you can proceed, 6, 7, 8, no problem. And 9 is currently the difficult one. I haven't started Chapter 9 yet. I've been watching my consortium members gripe about a couple stages in there being a little painful, so I'm looking forward to trying that. We're also currently adjusting certain sections where certain units were forced to be included in your squad will be changed so that you can select your units. So yeah, there are a couple sections where I know what this is saying is that on those missions where they force you to use certain units, some missions in game will let you swap the NPC unit out for your version of that unit, and then some of them don't. And so what I believe this is saying is those ones where you can't swap in yours, you will be able to swap in yours now, which is good because yours will, as long as it's a higher level than the one they give you. I mean, unless they give you a 110 one, then yours has to be a 110 as well. But yours will generally, for the most part, yours will outperform the NPC one, for the most part, because yours will have the benefit of having gear, and I don't think the NPC ones have gear, or if they do, it's really like bog basic gear, so you can use your maze gear and stuff and whatever on them, so it makes them a little bit better. So that's a nice change. That definitely did add a little bit of extra difficulty to some stages, so that was not necessary. The monster tag, which was developed to expand the PvE experience by giving characteristics to monsters, is decided to proceed in the form of sentences because it was judged that the existing form was difficult to contain certain complex combat information. I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea what I just read. I don't know what they're talking about. You got me. If somebody wants to explain that in the comments, go for it, because that's just lost on me. I don't know what they mean. The monster tag. Like, I know enemies have tags like CO, soldier, etc. is what I thought those tags were. So I don't know what it's talking about with the monster tag. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're talking about. I also don't really look at enemy units a whole lot in PvE. I just kind of, play the missions. So maybe if I did, this would make more sense. Okay, so and finally, to reduce the confusion and chaos by featuring new units towards the end of the Danger Close season, we are currently adjusting the Danger Close's opening period. With it, we are also planning to add a feature where CEOs can practice the Danger Close boss without spending the try count. We are also planning to add a feature where Awakened units will now be able to get the team up buff, which is given during the Danger Close season. Okay. And that's it for the April Death. There'll be more news in the next one. I don't know what the meaning they're going to do with adjusting the opening period. Like, I don't know. I don't really get what confusion and chaos there is in the opening period. Maybe like it's not being apparent enough that it's open is what they're talking about. Because I have since the rework like totally missed the first week of a Danger Close because I just did not realize it was open. And I do patch note videos weekly, and I still just did not realize it was open in game. And then that last bit, because I didn't even realize that there were Awakened units that weren't getting buffs for factions in Danger Close. So I just thought the factions with Awakened units hadn't been selected, but apparently they had, and they just weren't getting buffs. So now they will be, which is a really good change. And if I had known that wasn't the case, then I would have been like, hey, this needs to happen, right? So that's a good change. It's that middle bit. I don't think adding a feature where you can practice against a Danger Close boss is really necessary. What I do think, however, is the old Danger Close's version of if you don't beat your current best score, it doesn't use a try. That's better. Like, that's just better. That's what they should do. I mean, a practice mode is fine too, but with that system, it's literally you can do the fight an endless number of times until you beat your score, and it just means you can keep playing to improve until you just like quite literally can't improve anymore. That was a great system, and so if you didn't beat your score, you didn't use an entry ticket. That's what they should bring back. A practice mode just, I don't know. I just don't like practice with Danger Close. It makes sense with raid bosses. It makes sense with co-op bosses. But like for Danger Close, I just feel like that's I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be. For that, it's like that's why you have the different difficulty levels. You get 5 entries a day for 2 weeks. I just think that system of if you haven't beaten your best score, it doesn't count. That's all. That's what you should do. Practice mode just seems kind of unnecessary. I mean, I'm not gonna, turn down or, say anybody that's happy about this is wrong, because you're not. I mean, you're entitled to that opinion. You're entitled to wanting it. It just, to me, it seems like the less effective option. And yeah, I don't know. That's just me and my take on that. But so yeah, this is the dev notes. I drug this video out by reading through it all and kind of rambling, but just wanted to check out what they had going on. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the dev notes? Anything in here that really stands out to you? Let me know down in the comments section, and like if you enjoyed the video, and we will see you back here for more Counterside. And you know, we got a lot of games on the horizon. Maybe one of them we'll have more games to talk about here. I want to talk about more games with everybody, so we'll see what happens. But until next time, everyone, have a good one. Peace.